Hi all, I will be reviewing exam 1 for you. For exam 1, you have to study chapter 1, chapter 5, chapter 7, chapter 8 and chapter 9. Chapter 1, I believe, is on business intelligence. Chapter 5 is on data mining. Chapter 7 is on text and web mining. Chapter 8 is on data warehousing. And chapter 9 is on business performance management. Okay. Exam 1 will remain open from March 14, 12:30 a.m. That means Sunday early morning. Okay. Till Wednesday, March 16, 11:59 p.m. So Monday, Tuesday, and whole of Wednesday, it will be open. The time to take the exam will be 40 minutes. Once you start, you will have 40 minutes to finish it. There will be 50 multiple choice questions. Each question is worth half of a point. The exam is closed book, closed note. You have to take the exam through Blackboard, and remember, you have only one attempt to take the test. From chapter 1, you have to study the definitions of, okay, the way I have done is, this reviewing is, I have given you the chapter, the topics from which I have asked questions, and the page number in the book. So in chapter 1, you have to study what is business intelligence. You know, business intelligence is a framework for decision support. It's used for analyzing complex information about an organization and its competitors, and is used heavily in planning and decision making. Okay. The architecture of BI basically involves its 4 components, which are business analytics, data warehouse, business process, performance management, and user interface. Okay. Now, data warehouse is where the source data is. Business analytics is the collection of tools for manipulation and analysis of data. Business performance management is for monitoring and analyzing business performance. And user interfaces would be like dashboard for visually presenting hotspots in data. Okay. Uh, So BPM is for monitoring business performance management and analysis of business performance. Dashboards would be a visual presentation of critical data for executives to view. It allows executives to see hot spots in their business units and investigate further to exactly identify problems and their causes. You have assignment 7, an entire assignment on designing dashboard. Then 5 styles of BI in page 22 of your book. 5 styles of BI include report delivery and alerting, enterprise reporting, cube analysis, ad hoc queries, statistics, and data mining. You can look at some of the benefits of business intelligence, like faster reporting, accurate reporting, improved decision making, improved customer service, increased revenue, etc. Business value of applications, BI applications. You can look at table 1.3 in the book, and then OLTP versus OLAP. Now, online transaction processing and online analytical processing. I would ask you to read assignment 4. The first 2 pages of assignment 4, I have given you several examples on OLTP and OLAP, and also you can look at the chapter video where I have talked about OLTP and OLAP. Basically, OLTP, online transaction processing, is used to handle a company's routine ongoing business activities through recording data. And OLAP, online analytical processing, is used to analyze historical data obtained through ongoing business activities for decision making. An example of OLTP would be who purchased a particular product. An example of OLAP would be what are the total sales for each product, in which month did most of the sales occur, etc. So OLTP provides information about a particular transaction. OLAP assists end users in understanding why particular business events have occurred. So this is chapter 1. Chapter 5 is on data mining. Okay, you need to know what is data mining, how data mining, what is the taxonomy of data in data mining, how data mining works, some applications and software tools. Now, data mining is basically the process of analyzing data to extract information not offered by the raw data alone. Okay, now data mining, taxonomy of data. Data basically is categorized into two or data, you can think of data as uh, of two types. One is called categorical data and the other is called numerical data. Categorical data is a variable that is divided into specific groups, for example, race, sex, age group, education level, etc. Then you can, within categorical data, you have nominal data and ordinal data, okay? And in numerical data represents the numeric value of specific variables. Example, your age, the number of children, total household income, etc. How data mining works, lot of questions from this area, okay? How data mining works, you need to look at association, sequencing, classification or prediction, clustering and forecasting. And you can hear the chapter video on this, but there would be questions and examples you need to know for each of these application capabilities, okay? So association is when two variables go together. So basically, when you buy coffee, you also buy bread 35% of the time. So these two variables are going together. Sequencing is events that are linked over time. That means when you purchase a house today, in another 2 weeks, you will purchase a refrigerator 65% of the time. Classification or prediction refers to prediction of a target variable which is categorical in nature. For example, fraud or not non-fraud, purchaser versus non-purchaser, high versus low risk, used heavily in banking. Credit card companies and telephone companies, they use classification a lot. Clustering, the purpose is to group objects in such a way that objects belonging to the same cluster are similar and objects belonging to different clusters are dissimilar. Clustering is heavily used in marketing, in market segmentation. It's also used in healthcare a lot for finding out clusters in medical records. Okay, and forecasting. Forecasting is future predictions made on the basis of time series information. You need to study examples of each of these data mining capabilities. Data mining applications. Data mining applications, they are used in marketing, they are used in healthcare, used in actually a lot of different areas. Very heavily, banking, retail, insurance, okay, homeland security, so on and so forth. Data mining tools, basically data mining tools use a variety of techniques such as statistics, decision trees, neural net to find patterns and relationships in large volumes of information. Some of the data mining tools include query tools, reporting tool, multi-dimensional analysis tools, statistical tools, and intelligent agents. Okay, so this is basically data mining. The chapter 7 is on text mining and on web mining. Okay, now text mining is different from data mining in that data mining find patterns in structured data, but text mining find patterns in large amounts of unstructured data. What is unstructured data? Structured data is generally available in a database format. Unstructured data example would be Word documents, PDF files, XML files, text excerpts, etc. So text mining first impose structure to the data, then it mine the structured data. Okay. So text mining is the process of finding patterns from large amounts of unstructured data sources. That's the main thrust. Okay. Application areas of data mining, you can look at page 289 to 290 or slide number 9 in your PowerPoint slide. It covers information extraction, topic tracking, summarization, categorization, clustering, concept linking, question answering, so on and so forth. Text mining terms, you may leave that. I may not ask you anything from that for your exam. Text mining applications. Text mining applications, several applications in marketing, in security marketing, in like customer relationship management, deception detection in security, in biology, in medicine, in academic, lots of applications. Okay, text mining process involves input, output, controls and mechanism. Study that. Text mining tools, IBM Intelligent, Tableau, Clear Forest Com, miner data mining suite, so on and so forth. Then web mining is basically extraction of useful information from web pages. Web content mining, web mining. Web mining is basically process of discovering intrinsic relationships from web data. Web content mining is extraction of useful information from web pages. Then web crawlers, question on that, there is a question on that, are used to read through the content of a website automatically. Then web structure mining is the process of extracting useful information from the links embedded in a web document. Web usage mining is the extraction of useful information from data generated through web page visits and transactions. And there are three types of data that are generated through web page visits: log, user profiles, and metadata. There's a question on clickstream analysis, so you need to know what is clickstream analysis. It's the analysis of information collected by web servers that can help us better understand user behavior. So that's your chapter 5. Chapter 8, it's an important chapter, a lot of questions. Chapter 8 is on data warehouses. Okay. So we start with what is a data warehouse. Data warehouse is basically a pool of data for decision making. Okay, it's a repository of current and historical data. It's a data source for data mining. Okay, what are the different characteristics of a data warehouse? There are questions on that the data warehouse is subject oriented, it's integrated, it's time variant, it's non-volatile, it's relational or multidimensional, it's client server, it's real time, and it also includes metadata. You need to know that. Then also you need to know what is a data mart, which is a subset of data warehouse. I believe you also need to know here, you also need to know what is an independent data mart and what is a dependent data mart. Okay. Independent data mart is when you basically develop a data mart for a small business or a department, okay, which is not a part of the enterprise data warehouse. And dependent data mart is just a subset of the enterprise data warehouse. You need to know that. And operational data store. Operational data store is it consolidates data from multiple systems and provides a near real-time integrated view of current data. The information used for running the business on an ongoing basis and for short-term operational decisions is stored in a operational data store. Okay, so within data mart, please make sure you study the dependent and the independent data mart also. Then enterprise data warehouse. Enterprise data warehouse is the all-encompassing large-scale data warehouse that is used across the enterprise for decision making. Requires the integration of data from many sources into a standard format. Now, what is metadata? Metadata is data, about how the data are organized and how to effectively use them. You also need to know the data warehousing process overview. And data warehousing process, basically, what is that figure in your book? Data warehousing process overview. I believe it's slide number 10. The figure is page 333 in the book. 333. Okay, you need to look at figure 8.1 from your book. You need to study that figure properly, okay? Figure 8.1 in page 334 of your book, or I believe slide number 10. So how does the data warehousing process works? You import data from internal and external sources. Like the external sources can be ERP systems, legacy system, point of sale systems, okay? And then you clean the data and organize the data consistently, then load data into the enterprise data warehouse, create data marts as subset of enterprise data warehouse, or load data into data marts and consolidate the data marts into enterprise data warehouse, and then perform analysis. So major components of a data warehousing process would be data sources, and data are sourced from internal and external sources. Then data extraction, data extracted using commercial software such as commercial ETL software such as Oracle, SAS, IBM, etc. Then data loading. Data is loaded into a staging area where they are transformed and cleaned, then loaded into the data warehouse. Then comprehensive database, the enterprise data warehouse that supports decision making. Metadata next, which includes rules for organizing data. Then middleware. Okay, you need to know what is a middleware. Middleware example would be Cold Fusion. It enables access to the data warehouse from a variety of front-end applications. So you need to know the data warehousing process and what is a middleware. Data integration covers three processes of accessing the data, combining different views of the data and capturing changes to the data. Then you need to know what is extraction, loading, and transformation and loading. This is a process through which data are loaded into the data warehouse. Extraction is selecting data from one or more sources and reading the selected data. Transformation is converting the data from their original form to the form that the data warehouse needs, and then loading basically putting the converted data into the data warehouse. Okay, look at the benefits of data warehouse from page 346. Then you have data warehouse vendors. Data warehouse vendors would be Teradata, would be IBM, would be Microsoft, Cognos. They look at page 348. Look up some data warehouse development approaches. There are two types: Inman and Kimball model. There will be question on that. Inman model is first we create the enterprise data warehouse and then data mart as subsets, and in the Kimball model first we create data mart and then consolidate them into an enterprise data warehouse. Now next, you need to know what is a primary key, what is a composite key, and a foreign key. I'll give you tables and I will ask you to find those out for me. Primary key in a table is a column that uniquely identify each rows in a table. Like in a student table, if you have student number, that would be a primary key because it's unique. Composite key is a primary key which is made up of more than one column. And foreign key would be when the primary key of one table shows up in another table, it becomes the foreign key in that table. Foreign key is used for joining tables, and foreign key is always in the many side of the relationship. So if there are two tables and there is a one-to-many relationship between the tables, then foreign key is on the many side of the relationship in the table which is on the many side. Star schema and dimensional modeling, you have done an assignment on that. We have talked a lot about star schema and dimension modeling. You need to know that. The data warehouse design is based on dimensional modeling. Dimensional modeling supports high volume query access, and dimensional modeling is implemented via star schema. A star schema consists of one single central fact table surrounded by several dimension tables. You need to know What does the fact table contains? The fact table contains a large number of rows that correspond to observed businesses or facts. Fact table contains quantitative data like profit, like sale, like order quantity, okay, like cost of goods sold, so on and so forth. Revenue, profit, sales, cost of goods sold, order quantity, all of those would go to the fact table. In Tableau, the fact table is known as measures. Okay, dimension tables are smaller and hold descriptive data. In Tableau, dimensional tables would be called dimensions that reflects the dimensions of a business. Example would be time, product, location, customer. Okay, so you need to know those. Real-time data warehousing. Real-time data warehousing, basically data that are updated on an ongoing basis as business transactions occur. Okay. Traditional versus real-time. Traditional warehousing is used for strategic decisions, and real-time is generally used for operation and tactical decisions. Real-time empowers people who interact with customers and suppliers by providing them with current information. Okay, so this is your chapter 8, which is a very important chapter on data warehousing. Then lastly, chapter 9. Chapter 9 is on business performance management. Business performance management, we talked about what is business performance management. This is basically for improving performance in the right direction. It's a process, a series of process actually and applications which is used by the executives to help them uh, optimize the execution of business strategy. And the BPM process has 4 steps: strategize by the executives, planned by the management, monitored by everybody to make sure that you know that they are meeting the goals and objectives, and monitoring is done by using reports and dashboard and analysis tools, and after that they can make corrections to stay on track, and finally the all staff, they act and they adjust. Okay, and then we talked about KPI, which is key performance indicator, and it's a metric. Okay, and it has features for measuring performance, and it has features such as strategy, targets, ranges, encodings, time frames, benchmarks. You can study them from the video on the chapter of BPM, or you can look at the slides. There are different types of targets like achievement, like mix, min max, like absolute, like reduction, so on and so forth. Then there are different types of key performance indicator, like some are on the basis of outcomes, like for example revenues and profits. Some are based on the basis of drivers, business drivers, and some are operational. So this is your chapter 9. So basically you have to study all 5 chapters. There would be 50 questions, multiple choice questions. The exam is via Blackboard. It would remain open from March 14 till March 16, and you will have 40 minutes and 1 attempt to take this test. So prepare well, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me, and get your answer, get your if you're unsure about anything, let me know so that it can be cleared before you take the test. That is it. Okay.